I have 4 total. Okay, go ahead and get a shot of it. Otro. All right. So, how many of you guys here recycle?
Not me.
Hands up, down. Nobody? You do?
Yes.
Awesome.
We did.
You used to?
Now that we moved, we don't.
Okay. Well, that's okay because that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about today is about recycling and the benefits that it gives us. So, like I just said, the purpose of my speech today, guys, is to shed some light about what the recycling benefits are and why we all need to take it very seriously. It is my belief that we can all benefit from recycling and that we can help our environment and ourselves in the process. That is why today I want to share some knowledge about what recycling is, how we can all do it, and how we can all benefit from it. As some of you may know, recycling is the process of separating, collecting, and remanufacturing and converting used or wasted products into new materials. Almost everything that we see around us today can be recycled. The most common recyclable materials include batteries, biodegradable items such as needles, syringes, the bathrobes and stuff that they give you in hospitals, that is recycled. Clothing, electronics, glass, metals, paper, and plastics, just to name a few. In simple language, recycling is about giving old or new or used things a new lease of life by making new things out of them. So, recycling has 3 basic steps. The first step in recycling is the sorting. This is when you separate all of the stuff, your aluminums from your cardboard and all that. The second step is the collection of your materials. This can be done either when the trash people come and pick up your trash cans from the curb, if you have one of those cans that they pick up for recycling, or you can yourself sort everything and take it to a recycling center. The third step is the processing and the manufacturing. After the collection, the recyclables are sent to a recovery facility to be sorted, cleaned, and processed into materials that can be used in manufacturing. So, when I picture the future, I see the planet kind of like the way it is now, you know, green and nice, and the air, we can breathe, everything is nice, right? At least here in Georgia it is. But the reality of things is that it's not going to be like this forever if we don't start taking recycling seriously. I mean, in a couple hundred years, it might not be like this. And obviously, we won't be there in a couple hundred years, but our kids will, and our kids' kids will. And at the end of the day, don't we all just want what's best for them? So, with that in mind, let's talk about why recycling is so important. Number 1, recycling saves the earth. By conserving natural resources such as the timber, our water, and our minerals, it prevents pollution by reducing the need to collect new raw materials, and it helps sustain the environment for future generations. Like I just said, our kids. Number 2, recycling saves energy because it takes less energy to process recycled materials than to process virgin materials. Number 3, recycling helps mitigate global warming and reduce pollution. By saving energy in industrial production through recycling, the greenhouse gas emissions from factories and industrial plants are lessened, and the use of fuels that emit harmful gases during production is also minimized. This also reduces the amount of stuff that we're putting out in our landfills. Like some stuff that we put out there that we throw away doesn't break down as easily, or ever even. So if we recycle, that stuff can get made into new stuff as opposed to just sitting in a landfill where it's never going to break down. So number 4, recycling reduces waste products in landfills, like I just said. Most of these stuff that we send out there is made out of stuff, like I just said, that doesn't break down, and if we reduce the stuff that we throw out, then it's going to reduce the amount of stuff that we put out in our earth. It also helps create new, well-paying jobs in the recycling and manufacturing industries here in the U.S. So what exactly can be recycled? You would be surprised at the amount of things that can be recycled. I mean, you can recycle pretty much anything. Cardboard, paper, newspapers, plastic bottles, containers, metal, ink cartridges, cell phones, batteries, glass, steel, copper, aluminum cans, tins, textiles, and wood, just to name a few. But recycling is easy, guys. It's not hard. It doesn't cost us anything, and in some cases, we can even get paid for recycling certain materials like soap cans, scrap metals, the car that Mr. Donnell sent to the scrap yard the other day. Doing little things like this that can be, doing little things that can save us money. Not only does it save us money, but it helps us to reduce our pollution, and it's recycling. Doing little things like buying refillable bottles instead of buying new ones, buying cloth napkins instead of buying paper napkins. Also purchasing products with minimal packaging so that we don't, put out more trash out there. Buying things in concentrated form so that we use less of it. You can also make use of donated stuff rather than purchasing new things. You can also minimize the need to make purchases by meeting the needs with what you already have, such as, say you have baby food jars. Instead of throwing those away, you can use those to store some food. Instead of buying food containers, you already have that. You don't have to throw it away, and you don't have to buy new ones. Some more examples that people might not consider is composting. This is where you would take like the yard trimmings from your cutting the grass or raking the leaves and everything, and then instead of throwing your food down the garbage disposal, you would just put everything in one big bin. You would mix it together and you would throw it out into your trees and your garden and everything. Because this is not only a good way to save on throwing everything away, but it's also a good fertilizer for your stuff. Composting. For us in particular, here in Liberty County, there's a few different locations that we can take our recyclables. There's Coastal Auto Parts off Highway 184. There's Harder Recycling Center in Jessup. And there's also a scrap metal yard here in Hinesville called United Recycling that will take your scrap metal, your junk cars, and they pay you for them. So, I've shared with you guys some very useful information about recycling in the hopes that you can see how important and necessary it really is. Not only for our immediate benefit, but for the importance of our kids and their future. Let's not forget that recycling is important for a number of reasons. One of the most obvious reasons lies in reducing the amount of natural resources that are consumed for every new product. So next time that you're about to throw away that empty Coke bottle, I hope you think twice about which can you throw it in and go for the blue recycling one instead of the trash, right?